Another activity what we are going to do is that rusting, that means to test whether rust is acidic or basic in nature. Rust is also an oxide of iron, that means metal iron, when it is converted into an oxide, it is called rust. Is it basic in nature? Let us test whether a rust is acidic or basic in nature. For that, this litmus test, what I explained, is more than enough to find out whether a solution is acidic or basic. Now let us see the activity. In this, you are going to study a new type of chemical formula. First that I'll explain, then you can write the equation. You already know that how to write equation with the chemical substances, what it is mentioned for elements. For example, iron react with oxygen and form ferric oxide. You know the formula of ferric oxide as Fe2O3. But rust means it is not only ferric oxide. In the atmosphere there is oxygen, carbon dioxide, and a lot of other things they will react. But when the rust is formed, they will add certain water molecules along with it. That means here in the formula it is written XH2O. That means along with the ferric oxide, a definite number of water molecule. This X can vary depending upon the moisture content present in the air. And this is called rust. That means rust is, if you write Fe2O3 alone, it is wrong. That means a fixed number of water molecule is also present when with the ferric oxide only we can call it as rust. This is also known as hydrated ferric oxide. These two terms you should have to get thorough. That means name the following. Give the chemical name of rust. Chemical name means hydrated ferric oxide. This full word you should write, then only you will get the full mark. That is, rust means hydrated ferric oxide. If you write simply ferric oxide, no marks will be given. Now let us see how can we conduct an activity and see that rust is acidic or basic in nature. Aim to test whether rust is acidic or basic in nature. Materials required: rusted iron oxide, that means iron which is kept for a long time outside the atmosphere, and a black deposit should be formed on that nail. Then only we can do the experiment. A test tube, water, blue and red litmus papers. Procedure: scrap a little rust from the rusted iron article, place it in a test tube and add a little water to it. Shake well. Now test the solution of the rust in water with the blue and red litmus paper. You find that the rust is basic in nature. That means I already told you the metals, when they react with water, it forms alkalis. That is observation. The red litmus paper turns blue. This is an important test. And the blue litmus paper remains unchanged. That is what I explained here. That means blue litmus paper, if it remains as such in blue color, means it is an alkali, no doubt about it. And if a red litmus paper which is shown to the same solution, it will change into blue color. That means also it is an alkali. These are the two tests for alkali which is answered by this rust. The chemical formation, that this shows that rusted iron is basic in nature. These activities, both the activities are important. You just write the heading activity number 8. No need to write all this description. You write the equation. Iron reacts with oxygen in presence of moisture. Please add that word when you are writing the equation. Then only this equation becomes meaningful. In presence of moisture or water. Moisture means water in the atmosphere, and forms hydrated ferric oxide. You yourself balance the equation and see that whether you are getting the same correct answer. The phenomenon of rusting of iron is also due to the reaction of iron with oxygen containing moisture. That is what I told you. In presence of oxygen and moisture only the rust can be formed. Metals like copper on exposing to moisture for a long time acquire greenish coating. Therefore, copper vessels become green when they remain out for use for a long. Similarly, silver metal acquires grayish coating in air. This is why shiny silver jewelry becomes dull after a prolonged use. You can write both the equations for one for silver. That means silver, when it is kept in air, it forms silver oxide. Try to write the equation by listening to the reaction. You already wrote that equation and you already balanced it. The green coating on copper is a mixture of copper hydroxide. You know the formula of cupric hydroxide. This is cupric hydroxide and copper carbonate, CuCO3. Therefore, by learning the formula, you can understand very well what are the chemical names and formula what is given here.